Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the PLA podcast. I have an incredible guest here that I'm truly looking forward to interviewing. Nirosha, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Dunia.
It's a true treat to have you on here. And I would love, before we jump into these amazing questions and to hear more about your story, your wisdom, your expertise, is to formally introduce you to our audience, as they haven't had the privilege that we've had at PLA of getting to know you so well. So jumping right on in, here is Nirosha. She grew up in India and earned her master's in microbiology and began her career earning $180 a month. In 2013, she moved to the United States after getting married and later welcomed her daughter, Hanvita. In 2018, her visa challenges forced her family to move back to India, leaving her to start over with a young child and limited corporate experience. She enrolled in a clinical research program in Bangalore and soon landed roles at Accenture and IQVIA, where she discovered data analytics. When her daughter was 5, Nirosha made the bold decision. She moved alone back to the US to pursue a master's in business analytics at the University of Louisville. She graduated as the top scorer in her program with Dean's honors and near perfect GPA. Today, she's a senior data scientist, having worked at Fractal Analytics, supporting Google's ad strategy team, and now eToro. She is also a single mom, balancing career growth and motherhood while showing her daughter what it means to believe in herself. Coming from a non-CS background, she chooses courage over comfort, doing the hard things even when fear is present. Welcome, Nirosha, and welcome to the PLA podcast.
Thank you so much, Dunia. That's a really very warm welcome.
Trying to move through your story and really shine light on this incredible journey that you've been through and this amazing career filled with resilience, truly.
Of course, yeah. A lot has happened over the past 10 to 12 years, shifting careers, moving countries, and pursuing something that I have never imagined I would do. But it's really a learning experience where I built resilience and persistence. But I'm so proud at this moment. But open to your questions, Tanya.
Absolutely. I would love to know, if we were to go back in time, knowing all the things that you know now, what is one piece of advice do you wish young Nirosha coming back to the US would know?
Sure. So if I put myself back and look back, like about 7 years, right? Back in 2019, where I started my career 2.0 with Accenture and IQVIA. So that's when I started to understand the real corporate experience.
Mm.
And basically, what I missed back then was a normal question, you know, can I even do this?
Mm.
So there was always an imposter syndrome back of my mind. But one thing that I really wanted to have it back then that I have now is who do you think you are?
Mm.
That inner voice. I have learned this question with PLA from last 1 year, and it changed how I self talk, how I do the self talk. So if I go back in 2019 or when I came here to my master's, I have, even though I'm bold and courageous to do, that fear inside me always has been very scary when I look back. You know,
Mm.
like the eyeball to eyeball conversation, when I have it, uh, I'm like a scaredy cat, but how I do it, why I did it, I don't know.
Mm.
The path was laid, but that single question, who do you think you are, if I had answered or asked that simple question back in 7 years ago, maybe that would be a little bit different, maybe more accelerated growth. But I'm happy that I now know I can ask that question to myself and I exactly know what to answer that question. So um, that was one good thing, that I missed asking my younger self, who do you think you are?
And if
Uh,
you If you were to answer that question today, what would you say?
I'm a confident mom, first of all.
Mm,
Um, every day, I feel like I'm failing though, but still, I do. I do it with fear. That's the that's the personality that I fit into. So I do it with fear. So people say that don't worry, don't stress yourself. No, there is every moment where you find stress, where you are anxious about, but still, do you have that courage? Can you take that one step forward every single day? Who do you think you are? So, if I ask the same question I can say I'm courageous enough to handle this. I'm okay. I'm
mm,
totally fine. So,
wow.
these were a couple of questions that I ask and I answer to myself. So, it's amazing.
Oh, I love this. And I love that piece around courage and doing it imperfectly and knowing that it's like, I'm never going to have the answers or all the skills I would imagine would be required for what's in front of me, but doing it and showing up and being courageous. And what a beautiful precedent and example to give your daughter. Because so many of us wait for the certainty and the confidence and of knowing that we're going to get it done and get done perfectly, but really the opportunity lies in those that take advantage of these opportunities imperfectly.
It's all about everyday small things and small talk that you do, Dunya. In my opinion,
Yeah.
whatever there is, as a single mom, I do struggle having those little conversations within myself, handling life. But if I'm answering the same question, who do you think you are? You have to be really very honest to yourself, brutal to yourself. If you're scared, okay, agree and accept
Mm,
that you're scared. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be weird. It's okay to be messy. It's okay to be nasty sometimes. But still, are you living together? Are you living? Can you do things for yourself today?
mm,
Are you doing right? Right? Who do you for everything? Who do you think you are? If you're watching Instagram reels, can your mind pop up that question? Who do you think you are? Are you continuously swiping the reels,
mm.
or are you focusing on something else that is really meant for your life? Is
Wow.
that question is not only for career or for life or for leadership. No, it's for every single thing that Vamsi has. I'm stuck with that question for the last 1.5 year, Dunya. So that's the inner voice that I have, and there is a lot to uncover about how I transitioned over the years. But we'll talk about it. Yeah.
I love this. I think that there is this beautiful theme in your answer of radical self acceptance and self ownership.
Right.
And if anything needs to happen, we must be brutally honest with ourselves about the good and the bad and take full, ownership of what is necessary. Who am I today? How am I showing up? What are the actions? What are the decisions I'm taking and the actions I'm putting forth that are allowing me to be where I'm at? And what is necessary? What is the change necessary?
Exactly. And there was a very recent experience of mine where I was pathetic. I was pathetic in everything in my life. So I was lazy. I was cursing myself at my mirror. Uh, doesn't it happen? But do you have that courage to curse yourself in the mirror? Is the
Oof,
question. So,
I
uh,
love that. Do you
you
have the
know,
courage to curse yourself in the mirror, to be really brutally honest with yourself, and to
yeah.
call yourself out on your own BS?
Of course, we have to have that courage, to self, to give that critical feedback.
Mm,
Most of the days, many of the days, even to think that way, if you know that you're your real self, right?
yeah.
If you're being honest with you, that's the game changer. So,
You
yeah.
know if you're playing small. I think that that's like a big thing that comes up. It's like, and I'm going to put out this invitation to anyone listening to this episode. take a moment, even if you have to pause this episode and just like take a pen and paper close or in a journal, whatever that might be, or even on a post-it on your desk, and
Yeah.
ask yourself and be radically honest. Like, am I playing small right now? Yeah.
Yeah. There are many, even the morning pages that we have
Mm.
at PLA, right? That see the reason I enrolled in PLA is to level up my game. But I took only few things from PLA that stayed with me.
Mm.
So the morning pages is something else that comes tagging this question: Who do you think you are? Not every single morning I ask this question, but writing down every single thought that you get in that morning few minutes is something that radically changed the way I do the self talk.
Wow.
So, meaning, honestly, I stopped this habit when things were happening, but when I started over, it happened like 4 times. I had to stop this habit, and then I was lazy enough not to do things. But I'm coming back because I loved that.
Mm.
Some days I do not want to do it, but still, uh, I keep coming back at this uh, habit, of writing those things, answering the same question over and over. I think it is really helping me to understand where my weak point is, where my strong point is. So uh, I know it's a long answer for your question, Dunia, but I think this is something that I'm doing it and
Yeah.
that impact on me.
What comes up of your answer is not something that you shared, but this interpretation of some of this piece of what you shared is you don't need 100 different tools. You need a few tools that you're going to implement continuously and consistently to be able to get sustainable transformation.
Of course, yes.
And so I love that piece around these morning pages that you share. This moment where you're like, I didn't need to take it all away from this experience, this program, this growth. I needed a few tools that were going to radically change my life and the way I see things, but more importantly, how I talk to myself. Because the truth is, the relationship we have to ourselves is the most important relationship in our life, because it's the only relationship that will be there from our first to our last breath. And it sets the tone for everything we do in our life.
Right. Of course, yeah. As a human being, we do terrible mistakes. Uh, I
We're
don't know.
messy.
We're meant to be, right? So it is something like, I have done, I felt so guilty about it, and a lot of things happen, but still, am I moving forward? Am I stuck?
Mm,
So uh, just go forward, whatever happens in your life. So, yeah, it's all
yeah,
about. And when you said about the tools, right, to make things happen, I highly encourage you have just a pen and paper every single day, wherever you go on your side. So recently, I did a solo trip during the new year, and I carried my journal, my white pages, my morning pages, everything, and I staring at the beach and writing those thoughts, whatever comes in my mind, be it even the most idiotic thoughts, it's okay,
hmm
but still put it on paper so that you let go of that baggage, you let go of that, if there is anything that's happening in your mind or in your heart, um, you can just let go with those simple tools, just pen and paper.
So accessible to the whole world.
Of course, yes, you don't need gadgets, you don't need fancy things.
You don't need Wi-Fi.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, and I love that exercise and that tool and that practice of morning pages. And there's something so potent to it, especially those who have stuck to the practice for so long.
Yeah.
There's a relationship developed with ourself. And like you said, our thoughts, that reminder that thoughts come through us. They don't belong to us. They
Mm.
come through us. And if we allow ourselves to continue to move past us, it leaves space for new thoughts to come through. And
Right.
there's something, yeah, there's something really beautiful of saying I'm just a vessel and a vehicle for these things that happen, and they move through me, whether they are thoughts, whether they are emotions, whether they're experience, but none of them last forever.
Of course, yeah. And when you put it on a paper, you know, the brain remembers and rewires in a different way is what my feeling is. I don't know the scientific explanation though, but it really helps me to remember things. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nirosha, I love asking this next question. That's more of a challenging question on the PLA podcast, but I oftentimes believe LinkedIn and social media and websites and the online world is such a space of displaying the highlight reel of our life and career. And we oftentimes don't talk about the challenges and the difficulties we've been through that are really the most transformative moments and allow us to become who we are meant to become, to create the things we are meant to create. And so I love kind of demystifying or just addressing these more difficult topics, which are like, what were the major challenges of your own career and how were they helpful to you to be able to become who you are today?
sure, that's a that's a very interesting question. So I want to dissect this one because it's a very open question, and wanted to answer with two parts. Like I had these external challenges and internal challenges.
Mm.
So when it comes to external challenges, right, it's all about the people who you're dealing with. It's about moving countries. It's about the language. It's about changing careers. It's about leaving family behind. It's about every single thing that is happening around me. I will come to the challenges, but the internal challenges that I had through is very few, but very complex.
Mm.
Meaning not having um, an attitude towards, um, taking or keeping things simple. That's my most biggest challenge. I had, since childhood, maybe, if I have to really go back as a school student, like primary education, right? I was very good with academics until fifth grade. But from sixth grade to 10th grade and then college. So, all these academic years, I wasn't really a person who is very focused on academics or very focused on something. I was like a very normal kid. I didn't have a set ambition or a set goal. So I just took life as it came. So I started off when my mom wanted me to become a dancer. So I started with some Indian classical dance. I learned it for 7 years. But am I liking it? No, I'm doing it because she wanted me to do it.
Mhm.
So it's another challenge of saying no. I couldn't say no to my mom. I kept doing it for 7 years that I'm not really interested in. That is my internal challenge. I couldn't say no to
Mm.
my very own mom because
Wow.
if I say no, oh okay, should I say no? Oh no, mom is gonna be upset or mom is gonna get angry. I don't want to waste the money. Is what that internal dialogue used to be. So I did it anyway for 7 years. But at the end of 7 years, I said, I, I think I'm not this person. I don't like all of this. So that is the first time I said no.
Mm.
After a 7 year struggle in my seventh grade, if I remember. So since then, those were the like kind of internal challenges. But when it comes to external challenges, dealing with people, right? Um, Basically, from where I come from, my background. and everything. So in 2014, after marriage, so I got married in 2013, and after marriage, I wanted to pursue my master's in the US because I came in 2013 to the US. But back then, after I got into University of Central Missouri, everything was done. I got enrolled into a university, but there was a situation where I lost control and I
Mm,
had to stop doing masters in 2014. I couldn't do. That
yeah.
was out of my control. It is an external situation that is taking control over me, and I couldn't control it because I have no power back then. Power in heart, in mind, I couldn't have that power,
Mm,
and I just let it go. And I did not do that masters. And I had a baby in 2015, and I'm a full time stay at home mom. And until Hanvita turned like 3 years old, that's when I started to think I should have my own career.
mm,
I should have this financial independence to myself where I don't want to be controlled from the external situations or external challenges. So these things, when I started realizing the external situations are keep on controlling me over my decisions, I started to take an action towards building myself internally, and that came with building a career to myself because I was like a full time mom. I was doing nothing. I came on a dependent visa, and
mm,
all I did was cleaning, taking care of the baby, cooking, and serving husband. So nothing else. There were many frustrated days where I felt like my education has gone waste and I'm doing nothing. um, Again, there were a couple of external situations like visa challenges which are again out of control. There are challenges, but did I navigate it through every of this challenge? Yes, I did make a decision to come back all alone back here, making the most hardest decision of leaving my daughter back home. And I came, and I enrolled myself into a completely different world. Like, I entered the tech world where I come from, like a microbiology, and I have no idea what is a code. I have no idea how to code. So masters really helped me to transition my career. But did I want to quit? Yes, every single day I wanted to quit. And I used to call my
mm,
dad and said, "Dad, I just want to come back because I don't know. I'm losing myself. Maybe I don't know. I'm not with family. Um, I don't. I'm struggling. Like this coding and entire thing is like sounding like Greek language to me, where I have
mm,
no idea what to do." He just said one thing: uh, if you start doing the things that you hate the most, there is some point in your life that you will start liking it. And okay, so these technical things and coding, learning SQL, Python, data science, I have to do it, or I
mm.
have to go back to India and be a stay at home mom again.
Yeah.
Do I want to go back? No. I
Mm,
just wanted to do it anyway and do the things that I hate the most. And I think that helped. So, my point is, do the things that you hate the most, and at some point, you will start loving them.
mm. I love this because this is a topic we oftentimes don't talk about on the podcast, on LinkedIn, around career, especially in this age of like self, development, positivity. It's all about falling in love with what you do and doing the thing you love most. And
No,
and the
it's
reality is,
yeah.
yeah, you've got to build a relationship to the hard things, the things you're resisting, the things that are difficult. And I love this because I think that it's reminding us that things and discipline and being, dedicated to our work is going to require us to build a relationship to the things that we do resist and that we do find difficult and that are pulling us outside of our comfort zone. And we've even seen it in, neurobiology. We've seen the health of the brain increase drastically when we invite ourselves, encourage ourselves, and follow through on actions that we resist, even though
Yeah.
we know they're good for us.
Yes, yes. Example, very simple example. If you have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning on a cold morning and go to the gym or do workout, do we like it? Heck no, we don't like it. But is it going to help us? Yes, it is going to help us. It's the same strategy that I followed. I I avoided math since my childhood because I found it like it's so complex and I hated math. But now I build algorithms, I build machine learning models. Did I love my job? I absolutely love my job right now.
Wow. Wow. I
Yeah,
think that that is such an important quote to add because so many people 3 minutes past this moment would have thought, "Oh my god, where is this conversation going to go?" Like, "Oh my god, it's like can I ever find joy in these things? Like I don't want to have to do these things." And that I full body chills that's talking right now. This is nuts. And this is a reminder that if you allow yourself to build a relationship and be diligent in your work and dedication, even to the things you find difficult, you will one day find this tremendous love and freedom and liberation and passion for your work, which was once built off the things you resisted and you stayed dedicated to.
of course, Dania. That is a super important
Wow.
lesson that I learned from all my coaches and my dad, especially. So he's no more, but I always carry that legacy, what he
Mm.
has um, taught us, growing up. There is always a way, or there is always a chance for us to uh, be comfortable
Yeah, yeah.
every single day. Even
Totally.
do that. Yeah,
Mm.
I did not wake up today early morning. No, I slept till 8 o'clock, but still,
Yeah.
still. Uh, but yes, but making those choices where you have to really hate some things and you still have to do it, just do it.
Mm, beautiful. Yeah, I love this, and I've never said this on the PLA podcast before, but I will say it today. This is probably one of the most important episodes we've ever recorded on the PLA podcast
Wow.
because this is the hard truth that everyone needs to be reminded of, including myself, including some of the major leaders and players in this industry, and especially every single executive, especially in competitive fields like tech. If you want to compete in a world that's rapidly changing like today, you must build a healthier relationship to the things you are avoiding, the hard things that you do not want to do.
Yes. And one thing I would add is list down those things that you hated.
This is such a full circle moment. You
Or
know, I still remember almost 3 years ago today, almost to the day, I was flown out to Florida for an executive retreat, and Vamsi had
Mhm.
me list all the things I hate most. And I'd say in the top 10 things, five
Mhm.
of them had cold as a word in the thing. And he said, guess what you're going to integrate as soon as you go home? You're going to do a cold plunge every single day. And
Yeah.
it changed the way I worked, I lived, I thought, I felt, I moved through the world, my relationship to myself, my relationship to everything. And so I
Mm.
love this conversation. I love that it reminds me of that moment. I love that it's connected to PLA, it's connected to Vamsi, it's connected to these beautiful teachings.
Of course, yes. So
Um,
everything that I learned from PLA, here and there, not everything, I cannot do 100%, but at least if I do that 5%, that is changing the way that I'm
yeah,
moving my needle, like one single thing at a day. I'm not perfect yet, but still,
absolutely.
I just wanted to do things imperfectly, but
And
just that's it.
I love that, Nirosha. And I think that's such a reminder. there are endless amount of tools and opportunities and resources available to each and every one of us, and it's actually not about implementing all of them. It's about, choosing a select few that work for us while staying very humble in that process, saying, hey, I'm not perfect. I'm still a work in progress, but yet I'm still dedicated to continue showing up, to continue growing, and to continue improving all the way through.
Right. Absolutely. I understand. Yep.
Oh, I love this. So, Nirosha, I have another question for you. Just a quick perspective on what is your take on AI? Because we can't have a podcast episode in 2026 without at least mentioning AI.
Sure. AI. I think it's gonna grow bigger than the internet, but there is also a downside of it. It's totally my opinion.
Yeah.
So, do I use AI every day? Yes, I do. It is integrated into our office laptops, into our coding platforms. AI is integrated right now. Are we using it? Yes, we are using it. But I I think AI, as much as it is helping us to, make some things easier for us, but as a data scientist, right? I'm in the career of, building machine learning models, and I know machine learning and data science and artificial intelligence. This is all coming from how you train the model, and I'm in that space.
Yeah.
I train models, I build models, I train them, and I get an output. I give the input and I get an output. So when I know what goes with AI and what is the, this overhype is going, I can also estimate what is underhyped. So meaning AI can tremendously help, to organize our things, to assign some tasks, or to get some summaries out of videos. But if you are using AI to be creative, or if you are using AI to uh, maybe to create image or to edit a video, at that use case level, it is fine. But if you are expecting AI to solve your problems, that is not going to happen. So in businesses, especially in my company right now, we build something out of completely uh, a human interaction,
Mm.
where this AI can never ever help me,
Yeah.
because it doesn't ask questions, it only gives answers.
Oof.
Asking questions is our job. A human can ask a question. A human brain can ask a question that is relative to the business and
Mm.
his intuition. Whereas AI doesn't have that business intuition to help you ask the right question at the right moment. It just say yes, but it gives a clause. It says a yes to everything, but with a clause. Okay, but it is our responsibility at what level are we really using AI.
Mm.
So as a data scientist, right, when I query my databases or when I ask questions to the business or AI, sorry, ask questions to business or to the data,
Mhm.
it comes from my intuition. It comes from my thinking. I don't use
Yeah.
AI to question the data, because I talk to my peers, I talk to my leaders, and then I ask whatever they needed. But
Mhm.
I can never know until I waste my time giving context to it. Hey, this is it, and I cannot waste time on giving context
Mm.
to ask questions, because I have the context and I should do my job to make the AI work for me, but I should not work for AI. AI
Mm.
should work for me. So that's where I keep the boundaries. in my use cases where I use how I use here. So yeah, that's all. Like building like ML models and getting them trained on and using these agents. They all stop at a certain level of use case, but the business decisions are human made.
Mm.
If the companies are like relying on AI to make their decisions work, that company is soon going to go, um, bankrupt. So
I think there's something powerful in the human driving and directing and prompting AI in the right direction while AI comes up with potential solutions. But
yes,
really, AI is not in charge of the prompt, of the direction, of the question. So I love that reminder big
yeah,
time.
you
Absolutely.
only can ask question. A human only can ask a question in a way that you solve the problem for a business. So I think that's how I use AI.
Yes. And I love that it keeps the responsibility in the hands of the user.
Sure, of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
My last and favorite question on the PLA podcast to ask is what legacy and impact are you still looking forward to leaving behind in this world, Nirosha?
So if I understand this question more of, okay, so I thought about this question, and when I try to think deeper about it, it's the question of whom should I leave the legacy to?
Mm.
So is it for a community? Is it for my own family, for my next generation, or is it just for me? So all this breakdown, I had it in my heart when I'm trying to think very deep about this because I'm at a state of building myself. I'm very early in my career. I've never thought that I should leave something behind. But as you asked this question, I started to think if given a chance, what would I leave behind? Um, so, probably, I go back to the question of what I am currently struggling with.
Mm.
I really wanted to address that and leave that as a legacy or to someone who is struggling with the same problem.
Mm.
So, yeah, because you asked me what it is specifically, I would say like, so coming from a female perspective, right? Every single day as a mom, especially be it you're married or with your boyfriend or with someone helping you, it's a different story. But if, even though if you're married and you have someone in your life and you have kids and you have a solid career, you are doing your finances, are you stuck with that entire drama going around, or are you really self-aware of yourself? Are you prioritizing?
Mm.
For me, that answer is a partial yes. Because I get, traumatized sometimes. I know I get looped with all of this happening around me. We women gets connected so emotionally, even with some tiny things.
Yeah.
But as a woman who is coming from a very different background now, doing a decent job, earning money, taking care of a house, paying bills, taking care of the EMIs, and um, raising a daughter. What is that struggle that I'm every single day going is putting myself first,
Mm.
having peace within yourself. Most of the time, I don't have peace within myself, Dunya, to be honest.
Mm.
This is the core problem that I really wanted to address for myself. And then I want to build a system that addresses
Wow.
peace is a non-negotiable for us, for any women or men
Hmm.
for that matter. They
Yeah.
also do a lot. But for a woman who has to wear multiple hats in a day, are you at your own peace?
Mm.
Not many. Like, I found a very few people that are like good with it, but most of my community, most of the people I know, in my office or in my school, in my best friends or in my college mates, everyone has their own struggle, tangled in this loop of every
Mm.
single day, handling responsibilities and wearing multiple hats. But are you at peace?
Mm.
By the time you're going back to sleep, are you self aware and having peace? So I think I'm capable enough, and I wanted to put myself some time, build a system where you become self aware of your,
Mm.
and build a ritual every single day that you find peace, that little peace for yourself, and leave that legacy. It's okay.
Oh.
um That's what I am thinking, because that is the toughest problem that I am going through right now. And I wanted to find a solution. I want to build like a system. It cannot be like a coaching program. No, I'm not thinking that way. I don't know how to scale this idea, but
Mm.
I want to build a system where you become self aware and help these women that your peace comes first.
Oh, I love this, Nirosha. I think that there's so many people can relate to that question, and so many people can relate to that struggle and frustration of being able to find peace within this journey that challenges us in so many ways. And so I think it's beautiful that to be able to give back in a way that gives to others what's something that you've sought out and have been looking for and have been desiring to create. I think that that's so beautiful and in incredible ways and so giving and generous of you.
Sure. We'll see. Like, I don't know, because ever since I was, I had in starting from my middle school, at every level of life, I have gone through the same question.
Mm.
I'm not prioritizing myself, and but I started doing it, and I'm seeing the impact, what it can make to buy that peace. It when peace is very costly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I just wanted to wrap up our episode today with that beautiful thought. And if anyone is curious, by the way, if this is the first episode you're tuning into, and this is the first one you've come across of the PLA podcast, I'd love to put out the QR code for anyone who wants just a little bit more information on how they can find out about PLA. This is where the workshop link. Even if you never hear of PLA again and you attend just this workshop, you'll be blown away by the incredible tools the leadership team has put together and provided. And you will get so much value just from the workshop itself. So if you are curious and would love to attend, here's the QR code. And like I said, if you never hear of PLA again, you will still be blown away by the tools you can implement directly in the workshop and use for the rest of your life for communication. Amazing, Nirosha. Thank you so much for your time and for your incredible wisdom and heart on this episode for the PLA podcast. I truly appreciate you coming on as my guest.
No, Dania, I should truly appreciate your time, and thank you for this opportunity and asking me so many questions that brought the inner self out, and wanted to express a lot in this podcast. But thank you so much for the opportunity, and I thank PLA that really changed a lot in me. I could able to continue to do some things that I heard and learned and implement in my everyday life just because of PLA. And as I said in my first question, who do you think you are, and what story are you telling to yourself every single day, and the morning pages, these three important things that stayed with me and will stay, and I'll maybe carry to my grave. So yeah.
So beautiful and so touching. And it's been an absolute treat having you in the PLA community. And you just totally lit up that room and and this group. So just thank you. Thank you for your presence and for your time. And for everyone tuning in, thank you for listening to this amazing episode, and hope you got so much value like I have from, having Nirosha on as our guest.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful evening, everyone, and we'll catch you all for the next PLA podcast episode.